Assalamu alaikum, third year students. Today we are going to do Maupassant's The Necklace. Well, students, it's a short story that is included in your syllabus. The story is basically about a young girl named Matilda, but uh, through her character and through her life story, the writer has told us about about the role fate plays in our life. The characters which you'll come across in this story are basically three, which are Madame Matilda Loisel, the heroine of the play, Loisel, husband of Matilda, and Madame Forestier, who is a rich friend of Matilda. First of all, let's talk about the title of the story. The title, The Necklace, tells us about the story itself because it is the necklace around which the whole story later revolves, and it is the necklace that plays an important role in the transformation of the life of Loisel and his wife. It is the necklace that about the reality of which when Matilda comes to know at the end of the play through her at the end of the story through her friend, that she realizes that how their 10 years have been wasted in struggling in getting a lot of money. So the title is very significant. The framework of the story, well, it is very important. Maupassant has set the framework of the story very intelligently. Basically, it's ironical framework which we see over here in the story, The Necklace. Loisel, who is a very loving husband and a very humble clerk, he realizes that his wife is the one who wants who is very pretty and who wants to be in the company of rich people and who wants to be appreciated by the people, and who wants to be envied at by other women. Therefore, when an invitation for the ball by the thrown by the Minister of Education comes to his office, he struggled very hard to acquire that card, and he had thought that that card would in fact bring happiness to him and his wife, but he had not dreamt that the same card, that the same invitation, that attending the same ball would ruin his and his wife's life. Matilda, on her part, she had not dreamt of attending the ball, the dancing party, with the realization that it would ruin her life. Because she had thought that whether the ball, the party would bring her happiness, it would fulfill her dream of being sought after by rich people, by beautiful, classy people, but she had never dreamt that her relaxed, her peaceful life would be sacrificed. And lastly, Matilda and her husband Loisel had not thought that the necklace, which they had thought of to be real, would come out to be the fake one. And the necklace for which they had sacrificed their inheritance, their youth, their energies, their physical beauty, and everything which they possessed turned out to be a fake one of merely of 500 francs. So it is basically the ironic framework which the story has. Before talking about the salient features of Matilda's character, Let us go through the story briefly. Matilda is a young, beautiful girl. She is introduced as the one who is born to poor parents, and because of her economic status, because of her parents' economic stature, she could not have thought of marrying to a rich man. Therefore, she was married to a clerk, Loisel, who was of humble origin, and who could not fulfill all the desires of Matilda, though he we see that though he tried to do so. Now Matilda, she was a pretty girl, and she thought that because of her beauty, charm, and grace, she should have been born in a rich family. And since it is a mistake of fate that she had been born to a poor family, it is her right, her privilege, that she should get all the luxuries and delicacies of a rich delicacies which young beautiful women of the rich class, of the elite class, enjoy. Therefore, it had an impact on her life. She lived a dissatisfied life. So let's start the character sketch of Matilda along while doing the summary of the story. She was conscious of her beauty, and she was very much idealistic about it. And then as a result of it, she was dissatisfied with her fate. And this is the problem with her. She had not reconciled herself with her social status, and it emotionally disturbed her, and that's why she was not she was not leading a satisfied or contented life. She was not happy to see the shabby walls of her house. She was not happy to see the old furniture, the worn out curtains of her house, her apartment. She wanted to have silk curtains. She wanted to enjoy the kitty parties with her rich friends. She wanted to have exquisitely furnished house and aesthetically well furnished apartment for her. She was, but as a wife, she was faithful. We find that she loved her husband, but she was not happy with his social and economic status. Because she wanted all the delicacies and luxuries, and she aspired to be appreciated, by people, and that is why though she had rich friends who were her friends at convent, but she avoided her rich friends. It was because the writer tells us that when she used to meet with her friends, it would sharpen her sense of deprivation. It would sharpen her feeling that she did not possess those delicacies, those luxuries of life which her rich friends possessed. So in a way, Matilda had a materialistic approach to life. She thinks that the real happiness lies in having all the luxuries, all the material luxuries and material delicacies of life. Life. But what happened that one day her loving husband brought an invitation card for a ball that was thrown by the Minister of Education. The husband had bought that invitation with a lot of struggle, because this invitation card was not for everyone. Anyways, the husband brought that invitation card for his wife, but the wife and he wanted to see his wife to be happy, but he was very shocked to find that his wife was that Matilda was not happy to receive that card. Instead, she suggested to him that he should give that card to some other clerk whose wife had better dress to wear on that occasion. It came out that she did not have any good dress to wear on the party. The husband tried to sort it out, and finally he came to know that the amount of money she wanted to buy a good dress, a decent dress, was 400 francs, and it was the same amount which Loisel had saved up for buying a shotgun for himself. But he was a husband who adored his wife too much. He loved her so much that he was ready to sacrifice that money for her happiness. As the days of balls drew nearer, Matilda, instead of becoming happy, started to look depressed and sad and dejected. On inquiring, the husband came to know that she did not have any jewel to wear on the occasion. Again, the husband suggested that since she's so beautiful, natural flowers would be well, but she rejected, and she bitterly this suggestion, saying that she did not want to broadcast her poverty among people. The husband again came up with a suggestion, and this suggestion delighted Matilda as well. He suggested that she should go to her school friend Madame Forrester and borrow a necklace, borrow some jewelry from her. So Matilda went to her friend Forrester, and the lady, she was generous enough and kind enough to lend her her beautiful diamond necklace to Matilda. Now everything was set for the ball, and on the day of ball, this Matilda looked the prettiest of all the women, and she was in her dream to be appreciated and to be longed after by men, came and to be envied by women, was materialized. She was asked to dance by the higher officials, including the minister, who took notice of her. She was at the zenith of her happiness. Her happiness knew no bounds. On that day, she was totally intoxicated with her success, and it was only in the morning at 4 o'clock that she came out of the concert hall and woke up her husband, who was sleeping in a small room attached to the ballroom since 12 o'clock. The husband tried to cover his wife with an average shawl or wrap, but asked her to stay at the steps, and as he wanted to bring a cab over there for her, but she insists she did not want to stay over there with a cheap wrap on her shoulders. Therefore, she insisted that she would walk with him. So they walked, and hired a taxi cab. On when they returned home, husband again went to sleep, but she wanted to have a glance at her beauty for the last time, and she went to the mirror. When she looked at her reflection, she found that the necklace was missing. It was not around her neck. She woke up her husband, and they searched for the necklace. The husband went back to the place where they had walked and hired a taxi cab. He even went to the office of the taxi cab to find out if they had dropped the necklace in the cab. She had searched her dress thoroughly, and they reported the incident to the police. They even offered a reward, but the necklace was not found. And after a week, the husband suggested that Matilda should write to her friend that they would return the necklace to her after getting it repaired, as its glass was broken. And in the meantime, they decided to visit jewelry shops to find out a replacement for the necklace. With a lot of struggle, they found a necklace, a similar diamond necklace, but the price was too high. It was 40,000 francs. After a bargain and negotiation, the jeweler was ready to give them that necklace for 36,000 francs. Matilda and her husband now had to endure a life of struggle, because her husband had received 18,000 francs in inheritance from his father. So he had given that money to the jeweler, and and then the rest of the money he acquired through on loan with high interest rates. After this, she returned. Matilda went to her friend, returned the necklace, and she thanked God that Madame Forrester had not that Forrester had not opened the box and had not detected that it was not hers necklace. Matilda and her husband then started a heroic life. It was a life of determination. The fate, the chance that she lost the necklace had ruined her life. Now she's transformed. She's reconciled to her new life. She paid a heavy price to live her dream on the day of fall, and now she had moved to a cheaper apartment. She started to doing all the house chores by herself. She started bargaining in a loud voice with the shopkeepers, and now her rosy hands are no longer rosy as she used to wash the grease dishes and mop the house. However, after 10 years of struggled life, they were successful in in paying back the borrowed the loan, and they were decently off. And then so it is over here that we find Matilda to be a faithful wife who worked heroically with her husband. She displayed the moral strength and determination to face the challenge of life bravely. And however, we feel that if she had told her friend about while returning the necklace the truth, she might have saved herself from the trouble of of a struggling life. But it was fate that she had to go through. She had not to tell the truth, and she had to be transformed. And she was transformed. And after 10 years, when she was walking through a park, she came across her friend Palestine, who could not recognize Matilda, as Matilda had been transformed into an ordinary woman. But and on that occasion, her friend tells Matilda that the necklace was the fake one, and it was not worth more than 500 francs. It was a revelation that shocked her. It was an irony. It was the thing. It was the thing around which the whole story revolves. That in life, sometimes very little happenings, very little thing either destroys or bring happiness to our lives, or bring or ruins our life. So we feel sorry for Matilda at the end of the story. We feel sorry for Matilda and her husband. Now, the salient features of the characters of Loisel are: he was a middle class clerk in the Ministry of Education. He was a loving husband, and he knows very well the aspirations of his wife, and that's why he tried to sacrifice everything for the sake of his wife. Yeah, and when the problem when fate played a trick upon them by putting them in a difficult situation, he faced the life heroically with determination and courage. He did part-time jobs to pay back the loan. However, we feel that he failed to suggest his wife to tell the truth about the necklace, because in that way tragedy might have averted. But since it was but the writer did not want him to do so, because since it was in the fate, they had to suffer it. So he struggled for 10 years, and it was destiny and chance that ruined his life. Madame Forrester, she was a rich friend of Matilda. She was generous and kind enough to lend her necklace to her. She did not check the necklace when Matilda returned it. It could have saved Matilda's life, and it is Forrester who revealed the truth about the diamond necklace to her friend. Now, the theme of the story, students, is how singular is life and how full of changes, how small a thing will ruin or save one. That is, in in our life, chance or accidental happenings, they do things to our life which we never envisage of, which we never think of. Man is basically ignorant. Fate. A man is ignorant of what is stored for him in destiny. Matilda wanted to attend the party. She wanted to shine in the party in the best cast, in the best dress, in the best jewelry, and she did so. But she did not know, in her even in her wild imagination, that what destiny had stored for her for the next 10 years. And that is exactly where lies the irony in the story. So basically, man is helpless before fate. When fate, it is fate that influences man's life, and no matter how intelligent we are, we are remained ignorant of what is stored in destiny for us. And this is exactly what the writer wants to convey to his readers. I hope, students, you have learned the story very well, and now you would be able to attempt questions on this short story in your exams. Thank you very much for watching. Allah Hafiz.